Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Chris Taft and I'm taking a different approach to reviewing technology. I want to approach each product as a consumer and help you understand what you need to know if you're considering buying a product. I've watched a ton of YouTube videos when I was trying to decide if a product was right for me or if I wanted to compare one product against another. And a lot of times those videos focused more on features and less on kind of the things that I was wanting to know. So it left me with a lot of questions. So I'm diving in to help inform you about products from my perspective, from a consumer's perspective. And I don't have all the money in the world. So a lot of times we're looking at budget products. So if you're on a budget, what types of products should you buy? My goal is to truly help you make the right decision and to point out what you need to know before you turn over your hard-earned cash for a piece of technology like these earbuds we're going to be talking about today. So if you enjoy this content, if it's helpful to you, if it helps you make your purchasing decision, then number one, let me know. I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Definitely subscribe. I'll be rolling out with videos like this on a weekly basis, if not more. So let's get into it. So today we're taking a look at the JBuds Air Executive True Wireless Earbuds from JLab. You can pick these up on Amazon or on the JLab website for $69. Now I recently reviewed the Anker Soundcore Liberty Air 2s, which are priced at $99, so 30 bucks more. So we'll talk a little bit about how the JBuds compare to the Anker Soundcore Liberty Air 2s, as well as we'll talk about how they compare against Apple's Airpods. I've been using Airpods for 2 years. Here's my original pair of Airpods. If you didn't see the last video, I've washed them and dried them a couple times. They're still working, but we're gonna talk about how they compare. They advertise C3 calling, which stands for crystal clear clarity. I've got a mic test at the end of the video for the JBuds, the Liberty Air 2s, and the Airpods so you can compare. Personally, I think these are just fine. These sound good. So I am gonna take a quick listen here. Fit these in. As soon as I did, they connected right up. So let's do a little sound comparison check. Okay. These back in. Take out the Airpods. I mean, they're comparable. I will say, I do feel like I'm using the JLab, what's it called, signature EQ option. And I do feel that actually brings out kind of the mids and the uppers a little bit, which provides a more clear sound. The Liberty Air 2s do sound better. They have a punchier sound, they have a brighter sound, a more full sound. They sound better, but you're paying 30 bucks more for those. These are just as good though as the Airpods. They sound just as good as the Airpods. They've got big bass. There's an EQ setting in here that really ramps up the bass, the mids, the highs to give you a really loud, full sound. So I would definitely put these on par with the Airpods. They offer Bluetooth 5.0, which helps them to automatically connect to your phone as they are removed from the case. I've found this works great with my iPhone, almost as good as AirPods. And I've actually found they work better than the Anker Liberty Air 2s in terms of how seamlessly they connect to my phone. Every time I take these things out, by the time they're in my ear, they're connected to the phone. I'm ready to go, ready to listen to music. They work really nice. So I do want to pause real quick and I do want to give a shout out to Jose Aguilar. He left a comment down below in my review of the Anker Liberty Air 2s and he asked for me to take a look at the JLab JBuds Air Executives. And so he is the reason I picked these up. And I'm actually glad I did. So hope you enjoy this video, hope you see it. And if so, thanks for leaving that comment, I appreciate it. So the JBuds, they get a few things right, and then there's a few areas where I actually prefer either the Airpods or the Liberty Air 2s from Anker. So let's talk about some of those things. What do they get right? So number one is the fit in your ear and the comfort level. So they come with these memory foam ear tips. There's only one set. So there's a set of memory foam ear tips, and then the other sets are the silicone ear tips. But the memory foam, actually, they fit pretty well and they stay in pretty good. The other thing is the stem is not as long as some other earpods like Airbuds or like the Liberty Air 2s. So I feel like they're less visible in your ear. They're not sticking out as much, but they have a really nice, comfortable feel. I do feel like I can wear these for a while. The other thing they have is they have a silicone sleeve that goes around the actual the piece of the earbud that sits outside your ear, and it serves to kind of lock them in a little bit more. Although I may try taking them off. They do kind of feel a little bit tight for my ears, so maybe they may be a little bit large for my ear in particular, but they fit really well. The number one thing I said before I look for when I'm looking at earbuds is connection. And as soon as I've taken these out of the case, I put them in my ear, they're ready to go, and I can play some music. And there we go, they're already playing. So the other thing I want to talk about real quick that they get right and works really well are the touch controls. So one tap on the right is volume up. One tap on the left is volume down. Two taps on the right is pause, play. There you go, so it's paused. Tap it again, play. Obviously you can't hear this, but the other thing is 3 taps on the right starts transparency mode where it lets sound in from the outside. And you're gonna hear a little bit of a beep. But now that I've done that, I can hear my voice coming through, kind of like a side tone when you're on a phone call or something along those lines. And if I knock on the table, I kind of hear that coming through the microphone. So I'm gonna leave that on for a second. On the left though, if you tap 3 times, it changes your EQ settings. And there's 3 different EQ settings you can choose from. Right now it's on balanced, which I would say just kind of, it brings the levels down a little bit and kind of balances them out. The second EQ setting is bass boost. And I would characterize this by it elevates the bass, but it keeps the mids and uppers kind of muted, not muted, but kind of down a little bit. So that it's bass, very bass forward. And then what I prefer is the third setting, which is called JLab's Signature. Now this seems to just like take all the levels and just like crank them up a bit. And so it really produces a forward sound. You get strong bass, you get strong mids, strong highs. It sounds, that's the one I prefer out of the 3, is the JLab Signature is what it's called. So it's turning off the transparency mode. So if you've noticed, I've just really been just like tapping, and things work really well on these earbuds. So touch controls is one area they've gotten down really well. All right. It's really quiet in here now that I took them out of my ears. Okay, so the next thing is, so what have I talked about so far here? Sound quality is good. I did say that I like the Anker Soundcore Liberty Air 2s better. I do. So they sound, they're just a better sound than these earbuds. They're 30 bucks more. So if you can go up to that level and sounds what you want, great. However, where this excels is, one, I do feel these have a better fit in my ear than the Anker Soundcore Liberty Air 2s. Those felt like they would slip out a little bit more. But I'm one of the unique individuals though, where AirPods actually fit my ears pretty well. I don't have any problem with the fit of the AirPods, but they do sit outside. So if I want something that's going to be a more private listening experience, I'm definitely going to go with the JLab JBuds Air Executives because they sit inside your ear, so they create a nice seal and you get stronger bass from these. These definitely sound better than the AirPods. One area I'm not happy about, there's a couple areas that are drawbacks to me. One is to charge these, it comes with a pre-connected USB cable. The problem with this is that's the only way you have to charge these things. So there's not another power port where you could plug a micro USB cable in or USB-C cable. So if this thing breaks or anything happens to this, you know, you're kind of dead in the water. So I don't really like that implementation of a power cable. So another thing that I don't feel they got right and I feel could be improved is the case. This is a beast of a case. This thing is not pocketable. I'm not gonna be walking around with this case sitting in my pocket. You can see that compared to the AirPods, this thing is massive. One thing that Apple definitely got right is the size of the case for the AirPods. They fit in your pocket great, no problem, very pocketable. And reading about these earbuds, the JBuds Air Executives, they're designed for, their name, you know, Air Executives, you're flying, you're traveling, you probably have a bag with you. So sliding these inside a bag is perfect. It's not gonna be a problem at all. I actually do quite a bit of traveling for my day job, so I'll probably tuck these in my bag, take these with me, use these on the plane. Because one thing that these do offer, as I said before, is they fit inside your ear, so the music isn't gonna get out to your neighbor on a plane. Whereas if you're using the AirPods, you turn it up loud enough, they'll hear it around you. So I like the privacy of listening with these, but case is way too big and don't like the power up thing on this either. Now I haven't tested this, but I have read this, but evidently the earbuds are a little bit water resistant. Nothing that you want to go swimming with at all, but they're not really made for working out, but you know, if you sweat on them, they will be fine. However, the case is not water resistant. So be very careful with that. And I wish the case was a little more water resistant. Now, obviously, as I mentioned before, I've washed my AirPods twice and they're fine. So, you know, your mileage may vary depending on your experience, but they don't claim to be water resistant in terms of the case. I do like the construction of the case. It has a nice leather material around it, which is nice. There's like a leather flap here. So opening and closing this case is pretty satisfying. So I do like that about it. One thing to note is you can only do phone calling with the right ear because that's how the JBuds connect to your phone. So if I just put in the left ear here, leave it in for a second, it's not going to, it should play on the phone. There you go, playing on. So it's not going to connect with just the left end. But if you put in the right, so it's already connected. Oh, there you go. So that's playing on the right earbud. So what that means is if you want to do a phone call with only one in your ear, because it does still sound a little bit better that way. You hear more of your voice, even with the transparency mode. Taking one out is better for phone calls, I think. So if you want to do that, then you do have to use the right ear. You can't use either the right or the left. So with the Anker Soundcore Liberty Air 2s, you could use either one because they both pair individually for that purpose. So what do you need to know about these if you're going to consider buying them? They sound good. These are good quality sounding earbuds. They have a great charge, 6 hours per earbud plus 24 hours with the case. It's 30 hours of charge time. If you're traveling and you're taking a bag with you, because these aren't pocketable, that's the downside, not pocketable. So if you're gonna put these in a bag, travel on an airplane, get a long flight, these are the way to go. They also, I will say this, so as much as I don't like this USB cable that's permanently attached to the case, if I'm traveling in an airport and I don't want to have to manage extra cables, it could be nice because I could just plug this thing right into one of the USB power ports that they offer at most airports. So I could see where if you're a traveling executive, this could most definitely, or a business person, this could be a little bit of a help to you because you just grab the case out, plug it in and you're good to go. But they're not pocketable. So as long as you have a bag to put them in, you're gonna be good to go. So they sound good. They're only $69, so very affordable. Can't go wrong with buying the JBuds. If you do get them, let me know what you think. Leave me a comment down below. If you're gonna get something else, let me know what that is. What are you thinking about getting in terms of earbuds? Is there another product out there that you're looking at? I'd love to hear about it. Is there something else that I can review? Give me a comment down below. If something you want me to take a look at. My next video, I actually had a request for the iPhone silicone case, so that's coming up next time. So if that's something you want to see, definitely subscribe, give me a like, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Peace. All right, this is a test of the JBuds Air Executive true wireless earbuds using the Apple Voice Memos app to record this test. All right, this is a test of the Anker Liberty Air truly wireless earbuds. I guess it was Liberty Air 2, actually. But here's the audio test. Check. We'll see what they sound like on the phone, recording this with Apple Voice Memos.